Hey guys, King of Charm Manners here, and today I bring to you the best guide to manage your material storage. So, one of the most frustrating things in Monster Hunter now is getting the message saying you have too many materials. You've probably gotten there at one point. If you haven't upgraded your storage, unfortunately, you're going to get this message a lot. So this guide will show you what to get rid of first, and I will also show you how I prioritize what materials to keep in your item box. Alright, first we're going to get started with what you should get rid of first. This is the stuff you should discard and not keep in your box if it gets full. This is definitely what you need to get rid of first. So this is what I mean by trash priority number 1, and we're going to get rid of your Rarity 1 materials first. Number 1, get rid of iron ore and monster bone small from gathering points first. You will get a lot of these from your palico and as you play, so there's no need to hoard them. Iron ore and monster bone smalls, you probably won't even, you'll get a lot of these, but you won't use them a lot depending on which build you use, so get rid of them first, and even if you do need them, you're going to get a lot of them as you play the game, just because your palico brings a lot of them to you, and from gathering points as well. At number 2, we have herbs, mushrooms, and bugs of elements you are not building right now. Here's an example. If you aren't upgrading ice element, get rid of snow herbs. So each elemental weapon and armor piece as well has a certain number of herbs or other Rarity 1 materials that you need to upgrade them. This is what you should target next. If you're not using or building a specific element, you should get rid of these because you don't need to use them. They're just going to take up space. At number 3, you should get rid of Rarity 1 monster parts of weapon/armor you are not building. Here's an example. Unless you are using a guard build, you should get rid of bare off materials because 9 times out of 10 you aren't going to use them. Rarity 1 monster parts are the things you get the most from monsters. Kind of makes you mad and pisses you off if you get a full sling of Rarity 1 monster parts and you really needed 2, 3s, and 4s. So, because you get so many of them, we're going to get rid of them first. And at number 4, we have only as a last resort. So this is the last resort of your Rarity 1s. The Sharp Claws and Wing Drake hides from small monsters. You will need a lot of these as you upgrade your weapon/armor higher. So the thing about Sharp Claws and Wing Drake hides, there's only 2 ways to get them. One, you defeat the small monsters on the map, or you complete quests so that you can get them from dailies. So those are the only 2 primary ways you can get Sharp Claws and Wing Drake hides. So that's why you should get rid of them last, because again, you're going to need a lot of them. As you upgrade higher, you might need as many as like 30 or 40 of them for one upgrade. Next up, we have trash priority number 2, which are your Rarity 2 materials. So first, for Rarity 2s, you want to get rid of monster bone mediums and matchalite ores first. You can get these from small and large gathering nodes, so you can get more later if you need them. And you're going to get them from your palico bag, and even though they're not as common as Rarity 1 iron ores and the monster bone smalls, you don't need to worry about these. You can get more. And only as a last resort, Rarity 2 monster parts from weapon/armor you aren't planning to build long term. The reason is Rarity 2 monster parts can feel as rare as Rarity 3 to Rarity 5 materials, as you need a lot of them to upgrade at certain points. Seriously, Rarity 2s are like, you're like, I need like 40 of these at higher levels. I'm like, wait, what? That's a lot. So yes, Rarity 2s, last resort for monster parts that you don't plan on building long term. And last but not least, we have trash priority number 3, Rarity 3, 4, and 5 materials. The thing is, you can get rid of Rarity 3 materials from monsters you will likely not build for a long time. Here's an example. If you're a bow main, you're going to go after Focus 5. If you need Focus 5, you don't need Palumu parts, so you won't likely need to keep those Rarity 3 Palumu parts. However, you should almost never trash Rarity 4 and Rarity 5 materials. These are just so rare that if by some chance in the future you need these, you might regret it later. There's Rarity 4 Prime Scales, other things, and those Rarity 5 materials, they're just so dang rare that even though they're not as rare as Wyvern Gem Shards or Rarity 6 monster parts, you definitely don't want to almost never trash these. 3s you can get rid of. You can get more of those pretty easily. Not easily, but yeah, they're more common than 4 and 5 materials. Moving on, we're moving towards what you should keep. So this is your keep priority. This is what you should save in your item box and never think about getting rid of, or you're very likely never going to get rid of it. And at keep priority number 1, we have your main weapon or weapons materials. So you have a main weapon in Monster Hunter now. Everybody does, even in the Monster Hunter series. So for your main weapon, you want to save the materials from the weapon monster type you use the most. So you have a main weapon, but also you have monster types. For example, you should save all your Puke materials if you use Puke weapons the most. You use the Puke bow, guess what? You should save Puke materials. And if you use multiple elemental weapons, consider which element you use the most. For example, if you use fire and water, but you use fire more, then keep fire, get rid of water first. But yes, again, consider which elemental weapon you use the most, keep that and trash the rest, or have an order for when you're going to do it. Next, at key priority number 2, your main armor build materials. So research which armor build you want to use for long term. For example, bow users meta is typically focus 5. To get focus 5, I need Gyratotus leggings, so I'm probably going to keep all my Gyratotus materials so I can get focus 5, because in order for you to get focus level 2 for the Gyratotus leggings, you need to get them to grade 6. So keep the materials you need to upgrade your build. Start with getting the equipment skills you need at grade 4 or up to grade 6, then decide whether you want to upgrade them to grade 7, level 5 out of 5. This is the maximum without using Wyvern Gem Shards. So, usually you get or unlock the second equipment skill or get them from level 1 to level 2 at grade 6. Some, it's lower, like the Puke body I believe is grade 4. And then after that, get all your equipment skills, get your main armor build, and then after that, you can upgrade higher for more defense. Again, up to grade 7, level 5 out of 5. Which is the maximum without using Wyvern Gem Shards. Onward, we have key priority number 3, single biome monster types and subspecies / event monsters. The thing is, large monsters that only appear in one biome are materials you should consider keeping as they are hard to encounter. For example, Rathalos only spawns in forest biomes. If you happen to want to upgrade or need the armor parts of said monsters, guess what? They're really hard to encounter because again, they only appear in one biome. So consider keeping them. In addition, subspecies / events are materials you should think about saving as well because they only appear at limited times. For example, Black Diablos materials and Lucky Lunar New Year tickets. These are materials, again, you should really consider keeping because they are really rare. Not only that, some of them are very powerful, and because they only come back at certain times, if you happened to be close or need to build or consider building one of their weapons / armors later, you will need these materials. And last but not least, we have key priority number 4. You should always keep these materials. We're going to start off with Rarity 3 Carpenter Bugs, Monster Bone Pluses, and Earth Crystals. You can only get these from large gathering nodes and quests. So because these are the rarest materials from large gathering nodes, you definitely want to keep these, and you're going to need a lot of them from some upgrade points, so most definitely keep them. Next up, we have Rarity 3 Weapon and Armor Refining Parts. You can only get one of these per day once you hit post game, so it doesn't hurt to keep them. Again, you can only get one of these per day. Rarity 4 and Rarity 5 materials. As mentioned before, these levels are rare. You'll need them to overgrade / upgrade at higher levels. If you happen to pivot to another monster that you never thought you would upgrade before, and you got rid of their Rarity 4 and Rarity 5 materials, you're gonna really kick yourself in the butt. And last but not least, always keep Rarity 6 materials. Wyvern Gem Shards, Zinogre Plates, and in the future, when they release more Rarity 6 materials, you want to keep these. Never get rid of Rarity 6 materials. Even if you get to 8-star post-game and you've been there for a while, keep your Wyvern Gem Shards. And that leads us to some additional tips for managing storage. Some materials need monster parts from another monster. Here's an example. At some points, Rathalos weapons and armor need Anjanath parts to upgrade them. So, you should do some research. Look on mhn.quest. I'm going to put that on the description. Also, just on forums, etc. on weapon / armor you intend on upgrading. If you do, it's likely you will need parts from another monster. There is a warning screen that will pop up if you try to discard Rarity 4 or higher materials. This was a recent update, so if you happen to accidentally put Rarity 4 or higher materials on your chopping block for trashing, you don't have to worry because bam, there will be an extra confirmation screen. In addition, and this is probably the most important one, you can enter a number of a material you want to trash by tapping the 0 and inputting a value. Here's an example right here. You tap the 0, I can input a number, and then I can get rid of, you can do this for multiples of them, and then you can get rid of multiples. Instead of tapping the plus button and doing it one at a time, you can enter a number and then trash them that way. I didn't realize this till later when I first started playing the game, so I would just kept tapping the plus button, and it looked really ridiculous because I was mashing it like I was trying to like button mashing playing a Street Fighter game or something like that. I'm hoping this guide really helped you out with managing storage and not having to buy extra space. As well though, I must buy space, and I can't wait till I upgrade space again because I'm probably going to max out my storage space again. But if you don't want to buy storage space or those extra storage space, hopefully this guide helped you out again. And please do me a huge favor, please like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. This actually took a sec to base this video because there's a lot of editing you have to do, etc. So with that being said, again, please do me a huge favor, like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Good luck on your grinds, and I will see y'all on the next video.